Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about PMS. We're going to be talking about cycle syncing. We're going to be talking about birth control, hormones, regulating your emotions, and just like all that fun stuff that all girls love to talk about, right? Right? We're going to be getting into it today. This video is a part of a series that I'm doing called Galentine Wine Time. And try saying that 10 times fast, okay? If you have not seen any other videos in the series, go check those out after this one. But I'm doing like a Galentine's Day inspired little mini series for the girls. Valentine's Day, I love so much just because I'm such a huge romantic. I love romance. I love love. I love everything related to romance. But Valentine's Day is for, it's for the couples. It's for your bae. It's for your man. Like it's for your partner. But Galentine's Day is for the gals. And so I wanted to do a fun little mini series where I talked about like specifically girlhood, womanhood topics. And so the videos in this little mini series that I'm doing. I think I'm gonna do like around 10 videos with like girlhood, womanhood specific topics like divine feminine, PMS, like today, intimacy, dating, divine. I already said divine feminine. What else did I talk about? Solo dates, romanticizing your life, self care, just all of the fun, girly topics that you know you would talk about with the girls. Fun fact, you guys, I do not drink wine, and so this is cranberry juice and sparkling water. I love um, the taste of wine, but my body does not, and so I like get the worst headaches. I get the worst like nausea, stomach aches. I feel awful when I drink wine, like any kind of wine, red wine, white wine, rosé, like all of the wines make me feel like ish. And so I steer clear of those. But it's so weird because I can drink the hard stuff. Like I can drink if I'm drinking, it's gonna be tequila. Like some of these videos, there's gonna be tequila and cranberry in here. But since I said I'm recording around 10 of these videos, so I couldn't do tequila in each video. You know what I mean? So we're just keeping it light with cranberry and sparkling water. And I will leave the brands that I use on the screen. Um, but yeah, I love, you know, a fun little girl chat. And so that is what this series is about. So if you have like a cute little drink, a fun little drink that you can get while you watch these videos, go do it. This is our Galentine time. This is our Galentine time. It's so hard to say, but it's so much fun. But yeah, let me know what you guys' favorite drink is. If wine also makes you feel sick, but you have found like fun alternatives, please comment those down below. I do enjoy Recess. That's like a really good like non-alcoholic alternative. I enjoy is it Dessoir? Dessoy? I think it's Dessoir because I think I've been saying it wrong. There's like an alcohol alternative that like I think it's Katy Perry's brand. But if you guys have like really fun non-alcoholic adaptogens, I know is really good, like wine replacements, let me know. But I do really enjoy cranberry juice, so I don't mind just rocking and rolling with that. Um, and it's like with sparkling water, it's so good. Um, but yeah, I don't really drink juice often anyway, and I don't drink in general often. And so like if I'm like having alcohol, it's tequila, and if I'm having juice, it is cranberry. So I really like pretty much stick to water, tea, and coffee, which is a perfect segue for this video. And so if you are someone who has like really intense PMS, periods that are just horrible and not fun and just really, really make you feel like crap. Like, I feel like there are different levels or different versions that every girl has. And it also depends, like, they can be different each month too. Like, I know sometimes for me, like, it's not every single month is not horrible. And then, like, some months are much worse than others. And I do try to be mindful the months when it is like really bad or when I have like severe cramps or when I have the worst, like when I'm in the worst place mentally, I'm super mindful of like what I've been doing around that time because I realize that I'm so sensitive to one what I put in my body and to just like the headspace that I'm in, especially around that time of month, whatever I'm doing is going to make being on much worse. And so it's like we're going to start right off on this video talking about that time of the month. If it's really bad for you, number one thing, number one thing, to really be mindful of what you are putting in your body. For me, it makes the biggest difference. It makes such a huge difference. And we all love the comfort food, especially when you're on your period. Like, who doesn't love, for me, like my go-to when I was on used to be Chick-fil-A. Oof, like Chick-fil-A when you're on just hits different, at least for me. Like, comment down below what your go-to fast food is for that time. um, but like I started realizing that it actually wasn't making me feel good. And that like fast food and like unhealthy food was just making me feel worse, even though in the moment it's amazing. So like sometimes I'll still let myself have like a little fast food, maybe a kid's meal, but I won't go crazy like I used to, because I really did start to realize like it's making me feel so much worse than I'm already feeling. Like I'm already feeling like trash. And so like why would I keep putting shit in my body that's going to make me feel even worse? You know what I mean? So, um, the juice thing made me think about that, because I really do stick to water and tea when I'm on. I really try to limit caffeine. I know that we're all extra exhausted when you're on. Like, if you're like me, your energy is just gone. Um, but I do try to limit caffeine. Also, coffee in general has just been giving me headaches lately, so I've just like pretty much cut out coffee altogether. But I do have a really good tea replacement that has a ton of caffeine. It actually gives me way more energy than regular coffee, and that is Tazo Awake English Breakfast Tea. Nothing I say is sponsored, but I will leave it on the screen. But it is an excellent coffee replacer if coffee also does not like you, or if you don't like coffee. Um, it gives me so much caffeine. It is the only tea that I have found that really does give me a ton of energy. Um, which is like, I miss coffee so much because I like the taste. Like, I do not even drink coffee like for energy. I drink it because I just genuinely love the taste. But that's another story. But I will say, when I am on, again, I'm just sharing what works for me. I'm not a doctor. Do what works for you. But when I'm on, I'm like extra sensitive to every single thing that I'm putting in my body. And so I really do try to hydrate as much as possible. Electrolytes, I will also leave on the screen. Electrolytes are super important for me when I'm on, because I feel like I get dehydrated so much easier, or so much faster. So electrolytes are super important. I'm also just extra tired, like I said. So like just doing anything that's going to increase the hydration in my body is going to make me feel a lot better. Tons of water. Like I said, I stick to tea. Tea is also so calming, and especially having something so warm and just so relaxing on your tummy. That time of month specifically is going to make you feel really good. So if you don't have a favorite tea or a go-to tea, go find your favorite tea. I love ginger. I love green tea. Putting honey in my tea is also amazing. Peppermint tea. Um, a nighttime tea, if you have trouble sleeping, is really good. But yeah, just making sure that you are prepared, well prepared for that time of month. I'm also going to use like the feminine products that I use. It is, um, what is it called? I use Ultra Thin. I don't remember the brand. Whatever brand like carries Ultra Thin is the one that I use. Um, but I know that like some girls are tampon girlies, some girls are pad girlies. I feel like the majority are tampon girlies. I'm sorry, it's not my thing. Especially since like I'm, knock on wood, I'm pretty blessed where it's like not heavy. Like it's not very much TMI, but like I'm mine doesn't last long, and it's not like crazy at all. Again, knock on wood, but mine is much more mental. So for me, I get my the headspace. Like I get the worst. Like I just get so sad. Like I get unbelievably sad. Like I'm still able to like function and like turn on when I need to and like do all the things, but like I get so sad. If you have not seen any of my previous videos, I did lose my mom. Um, November, about a year ago. So November 2023, I lost my mom, and so that time of month is when I like grieve the hardest because I'm already like extra emotional. And so like it's extra important to like for me at that time of month to make sure that I'm doing everything that brings me comfort, that I am, just make sure that I'm being very intentional and very mindful about, the content that I'm consuming, the food I'm consuming, journaling, drinking my tea, doing things that make me happy and consuming content that makes me happy and watching my favorite TV shows and my favorite movies and hanging out with people and talking to people that I love and just like that I'm really like in a positive mood and in a positive mindset because obviously I'm already grieving anyway. And so like that time of month, I just tend to be extra, extra, extra emotional. And things just hit so much harder for me that time of month. So I will say like my um period is a lot more like emotional than it is physical, if you know what I mean. Um, so it's like I do like cramping, stomach aches, but I'm also like I don't know, I'm weird. So like I'll have cravings, but like I'm not extra extra like hungry. I'm actually able to eat less when I'm on than I am because I don't know. I feel like my stomach is already full and it's already a lot going on right here. So it's like my stomach is like we're good. Like you don't need to put too much on for me, I don't need to put a lot on my tummy at all. But I do love dark chocolate. I still love my popcorn. Um, this is gonna sound weird. Ramen is something that I will crave if I'm having like really intense cravings. And I just like get the noodles in a cup, and it'll like one, it's a lot cheaper than ordering Chinese, which is like if I'm craving, I'm always gonna crave like fried rice, orange chicken, shrimp. Like that is my like vibe of like my go-to like takeout food. Um, and so like if I'm really having intense craving, it's always for that. For some reason, ramen satisfies that craving. So I will get like just a cup of noodles, but the spicy one specifically, 10 out of 10. Um, and it's just like so much easier and obviously cheaper than like ordering takeout every single day that I'm on. Like, and I don't like have the ramen every single day just because the sodium in those we all know like the sodium in any like cup of noodle package ramen is unreal. Like they shouldn't even be legal, but they are. But if you are looking for like something fun that like tastes like fast food, but is also like cheap and that you can make really easy, for me, ramen works. Um, like I said, I don't have it every single day. That's a huge moderation food because the sodium is insane. But it's very easy to like, just throw in the microwave and it's like a comfort food for me too. But going back to like emotions and regulating hormones, like I was saying, for me, I've found that what I put in my body really, really does affect what I get out of it. What you put in your body is what you're going to get out of it. And that's been so true for me. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but high protein, healthy carbs, water, tea, cutting out, not completely cutting out, but very, very, very minimizing um, processed foods, artificial foods, fast food, the stuff that we all know we shouldn't be eating, but we still do anyway. I don't really drink juice or soda, especially except for cranberry juice, but especially when I'm on because that time of month I will immediately like break out anyway. And I get the same pimple right here. Like it's so crazy. And it's in the worst spot too. Like, does that happen to anyone else? Like, does anyone else just like break out that time of month too? Either right here or right here. And it's like always in the most obvious worst spots. Like, it's so bad. But especially when I drink soda, it makes me break out. Like, it actually does make me break out like much worse. And so I steer clear of soda. Every now and then I'll do a diet coke. Like if I'm drinking a soda, it'll be that, but that's hardly ever. But sparkling water has been like a really good alternative for me and something that I've been able to like, you know, satisfy that craving for like the carbonated beverage. Um, Definitely little to no alcohol if I'm on. Like that is not gonna happen. Like I'm already exhausted. Whatever I drink is just gonna make me feel even worse. Again, these are just things that work for me. Do what works for you, what makes you feel good. Cycle syncing, I used to do like cycle syncing and really track like each phase and do like the things that are recommended for each phase. I'll try to leave like a little chart on here. If you have a Pinterest account, just go on Pinterest and type in cycle syncing and it'll bring up your phases. If you don't track your cycle so that you know when you're on. It also helps with planning everything. I love keeping, my tracker because I travel often and I'm always like doing something and going to an event and going to shows and stuff. And I need to know when I'm going to be on and stuff like that. So if you're not tracking, you need to do that. I use the P Tracker app, which I will leave on the screen. I know Flow is super popular. I used Flow for a long time, but I was paying for Flow and I just didn't want to pay for it anymore. But P Tracker just gives me like the basic when I'm on, when I'm off, when I'm most fertile or ovulating. And like I just need the most basic of the things. If you like need more additions, then it makes sense for you to like pay for more features. But for me, I just need to know the basics. And I'm pretty regular. And so regular when it comes to my cycle, regular in the other way too, but you know what I mean. But um I have a pretty like consistent cycle schedule. Like I'm usually on it. Like when it says I'm gonna be on, I'm usually on. And so like I'm pretty like consistent when it comes to that. Um, but yeah, if you're not tracking your cycle, track your cycle. And I know about Flow and I know about the P Tracker app. If you guys have other apps that you use, please leave them down below for all of the girlies so we can share. Um, but yeah, that like definitely works for me. Oh yeah, cycle syncing. So I used to do different things that like went into each like were aligned with each phase of the cycle, but I found that I really didn't need to. Um, just because I'm someone who like I'm good at planning and having like a really good routine for myself in general anyway, and I'm good at healthy habits, and so I did it for a little bit, but then I kind of just did my own thing because I just live according to like the day and like my energy for the day, and I know that I have a lot that I want to get done, and I know that my go-to exercise is walking, is like, cardio. I do want to get way more into weightlifting. But right now I just have so many things that I'm doing. I work in customer service, I nanny, I have a podcast, I'm doing YouTube. So like right now walking is what I can do. Like I feel like the best exercise is the one that you're gonna stick to. And for me, I do have a treadmill. So walking 30 minutes a day minimum is my go-to, and also standing as much as I can throughout the day. So when I'm not recording videos, if I'm doing computer work, I'm standing up while I'm doing work. If you don't have a standing desk, you can get a little makeshift desk. I have like my like desk and I just like put boxes on top of it. So that I created my own little makeshift standing desk. Just being on my feet as much as possible throughout the day really does help me. Um, and all of this ties in together with like regulating hormones and your cycle and things like that, because your sleep and what you put in your body is going to affect everything else. And so like being active as you can throughout the day is going to help you to get better rest at night. If you're someone who struggles with sleep, struggles with insomnia, really be mindful and like really look at how much energy you're burning throughout the day. And if you are someone who is sitting a lot, then you really need to be mindful about, or be more intentional about, being on your feet a little bit more throughout the day. And that can be, like I said, it can be just standing. Like you don't have to do some crazy intense workout regimen every single day. Do something that you're going to stick to. For me, walking, standing. Easy, and it seems too good to be true, but it works. You know what I mean? Like it works for me. Anything that's going to keep you up, keep you active, make sure that you're staying hydrated. Um, but yeah, if cycle syncing works for you, um, let me know down below. But like I said, I really don't need to anymore. I used it for a little bit, but um, I don't really need to. If you are someone who struggles with what is it called, PCOS, I have not, but Gracie Norton, she's huge, huge, huge TikToker. She's incredible. If you have not consumed any of her content, I'm also going to leave her on the screen. She is an excellent resource for PCOS. She's like much more of an expert in that topic than I am. Um, and and also on the topic of birth control. I did used to be on the pill, but I stopped because I became very much aware of the long-term effects of birth control. Back in college, I was on it for about, I was probably on birth control for like maybe 3 years. Um, but I stopped taking it because I became very much aware of the long-term effects of it, and I knew that I didn't feel good while I was on the pill, and I knew that it wasn't good for me, but you know, that's what many females are prescribed. As soon as you start being active, or like not even sexually active, but like I know a lot of girls that I went to high school with got put on birth control just because of acne. So I feel like it's a horrible default for that. There are so many other options and other alternatives that I feel like should be prescribed. I'm not a doctor. I know that different things work for different people, but if you are on the pill, definitely be mindful of the long-term effects of it. And there are also different types of pills now that have, some of them have less hormones in it. Some of them are like more for like sensitive people. If you're someone who also, it made you feel bad or made you feel like crap. um, so you have to do what works for you. But yeah, So I just am super mindful of, like I said, the long term effects of everything. I'm someone who is like, I try to be as intentional and conscious about what I put in my body. I'm huge on ingredients. If you have seen any of my other videos, and you know, I really do try to stick to clean ingredients, minimal, um, as organic as possible. I'm not perfect at any of this by any means, but I will say that I'm pretty intentional about what I put in my body. Um, but I do want to get better at like the exercise part because, like I said, I do walk a lot and I am on my feet a lot. But I definitely want to weightlift. Like I want to start weightlifting very soon, but like I said, I'm doing about 50 million different things at the moment, and so I'm not adding anything else on my plate right now. But as long as I know that I am on my feet a lot throughout the day, that I'm walking a lot throughout the day. I don't drive either, so I'm automatically walking. Pretty much all day. And so I'm on my feet a lot. When I'm recording videos, it's the longest period of time that I'm sitting down throughout the day. And so I feel like, that's a pretty good thing. Um, but yeah, it's all about like when it comes to hormones and regulating your emotions, you just really have to be intentional about every single thing that you do on a daily basis. And I know it can seem overwhelming um, to feel like you need to do all these different things to make sure that you are in a good place emotionally and hormonally. But number one thing, and that is the easiest and the hardest things for most people to do, is to be mindful of what you are putting in your body. Again, what works for me: high protein, low carb, lots of fruit, vegetables, water, tea. Like very, very, very minimal ingredients, just being super mindful of that. What you put in your body is going to affect your mood, it's going to affect your sleep, it's going to affect your energy. And just try your best to be intentional about that. Try your best to be intentional about the content that you consume, social media, the TV that you're watching, the movies that you're watching, the music that you're listening to. Like just try to be intentional about making sure everything that you're consuming is putting you like in a very like good headspace, a positive headspace. Listening for me, I love listening to like fun podcasts. I love watching fun TV shows. I love watching My Housewives. I love watching Kardashians. I love listening to like fun upbeat podcasts, Gals on the Go. I love listening to The Skinny Confidential. I love listening to um, comments by celebs. Like I like listening to like a good balance of like just chatter, like girl talk, girl chatter, and health and wellness like related like podcasts and stuff. I love Club Random with Bill Maher. I love Questlove Supreme. Like I love just very like easygoing conversational like podcasts when I'm listening to those. I also really enjoy reading books. If you're looking for like for more like things that'll bring you a lot more comfort, especially around that time of month, or especially if you're someone who just struggles with regulating your hormones and bringing like recentering yourself. Books for me have been a game changer. Like I said, especially going through grief. It's fiction books specifically have been something that have helped me so much to get out of my own head and just out of my own world and get to live in someone else's world for a little bit. It's been a huge, huge, huge game changer for me. I love reading Kennedy Ryan. I love reading spicy romance novels. Start with Real, Reel. If you have never read any of her books, but you are interested in it, it's also an amazing, amazing Valentine's Day gift to yourself. Um, Anything by Kennedy Ryan, but like any fun, spicy romance novels. If you love romance like me, Nicholas Sparks is a go-to, obviously. I know he's like super cheesy. If you see his movies but have not read the books are so much better. Um, as the books are always better with everything. But if you have not read, like for example, if you have not read The Notebook, the book, you've only seen the movie and you're only judging Nicholas Sparks based off of the movie, but you haven't read the book, you haven't lived. Like, oh my God, the book is so much better. And as good as the movie is, the book is so much better. Um, but yeah, like get yourself something fun for Valentine's Day. Get the gals something fun for Valentine's Day. If you're looking for like a cute little girl treat to gift your friends with for Valentine's Day, do a little Valentine's book club where you guys like read a fun novel, where you read something fun, something spicy, something romantic. Um, just have more fun. Like when it comes to making sure that your emotions are regulated and your hormones are regulated, being in a good headspace, a lot of it really is mindset. And so just be super aware of how you're talking to yourself on a regular basis. Be super aware of the people that you're interacting with on a regular basis. If you know that you're in a work environment that is super unhealthy for you have to figure out an exit plan. Like you have to. I don't care, you know, if you're someone who is staying at a job or doing something because you feel like because you're worried about what other people are going to think of you if you leave or if you go do a different, job title or anything like that. You really do have to do what's best for you. And remember, when it comes to work specifically, work is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. And so if it's not in a place that's healthy for you, like it's going to be impossible for you to regulate your emotions and your hormones if you are in an environment that is toxic. And I know that we throw that word toxic around, but um, if you really are in an environment or home environment or like somewhere where you spend the majority of your time that is extremely unhealthy and that is dysregulating for your nervous system, it's just not good for you. It's going to throw your hormones out of whack. You're not going to be able to think straight. You're not going to be able to, function properly. And so it's super important to, if you know that you need to get out of a certain environment, if you know that you need to make a change, you need to do what's best for you, not worry about what anyone else thinks. You can always get a job. We have access to billions of different jobs, especially nowadays. You can make money doing anything, okay? Like, never be embarrassed to have to do what's best for you. Never be embarrassed to have to make a change. Um, you need to put yourself and your health first. Remember that you cannot help anyone unless you yourself are okay. Like, if you are, you know, super stressed out, stress and hormones go hand in hand. So, if you are someone who just lives a very stressed life or a lifestyle, you have to figure out how to calm yourself down. I have a lot of videos on, you know, being overstimulated and, being unregulated and just doing things that calm yourself down and recenter yourself. If you're someone who does not know how to or is uncomfortable with your own company, that is something that you definitely need to work on, because once you get to a place where you're at peace with yourself, it feels so good. So good. Like you're just going to be not worried about other people. You're not going to be, worried about what people think of you and what they're doing. Like you need to get to a place where you're so comfortable with yourself and with your life, that you're just happy and you're peaceful. I think that at the end of the day, um, what's going to, regulate the nervous system and help with the emotional regulation and help with hormones and everything like that is creating a life of peace and of comfort and of fun and joy and things that you genuinely enjoy doing, filling your time, filling your space, filling your life with as many things that you enjoy doing as possible. It's going to help you so, so much. Make sure that you do have hobbies, especially like I said, if you have a really, stressful work environment, if you're doing something that you really don't want to do every single day, but you're not able to leave right now, just really do your best to have things outside of work that you enjoy doing, that you really, really love to do. Like I said, I love reading. I love cooking. Make sure that you have things in your space that bring you comfort and peace. I love candles. Just the things, in your life that are going to make you feel really, really good and just bring you peace. Like, I think it's super important if you're someone who just really struggles, like emotionally, hormonally, um, cultivating a space of peace and calm and fun and happiness is just really going to make the biggest difference in your life. Um, but yeah, you really need to focus so much more, on peace. If your space is too cluttered, if you have way too many things on your plate, you have to physically get rid of things, and then also like mentally, you know, allow yourself to let go of commitments and overcommitting and spreading yourself too thin and things like that. Like, it is up to you to regulate your nervous system. It is up to you to take things off of your plate. It is up to you to say no when you need to. It is up. All of that affects your hormones. All of that affects your emotions. All of that affects your nervous system, which is a part of our whole, like, everything that makes up our bodies and our cycles, and just having a good temple, a good body situation. We need our bodies to function. We need our body in order to live. And you really have to treat your body as best as you can and make sure, like I said, that you are really talking to yourself in a positive way, that you have a mindset that is positive and not negative, especially if you're someone who tends to lean more to the negative often. Be very mindful of how you're talking to yourself, of the story that you're telling yourself. Um, be delusional when you like really want to, like believe in your dreams, believe in your fairy tales, like don't let like getting older and negative life circumstances um stop you from believing in your dreams. Like you have every right to still dream big and to do your affirmations and tell yourself every single day how perfect your life is and that you are already living your dream life no matter what your life looks like, that you already have your dream job and um are the dream version of yourself now. Make sure that you are doing little things every single day that your dream highest version of yourself would do. Be that person now. There is no separation between you and the person who you are trying to become. There's no separation between the life that you're living now and the one that you want. You just have to change your mindset and be super consistent and super persistent in telling yourself that you already have every single thing that you want. Get yourself some Sharpay Evans, Elle Woods energy and know that you're that girl. Like, be that confident girl. Stop people pleasing. Stop doing things that you know are bad for you, that you know are going to make you feel bad, that you know are not good for your hormones, that you know are not good for your emotions. Um, you have to put yourself first. It is your responsibility to make sure that you are putting yourself first. Make sure that you are getting outside, make sure you're getting sunlight. I know that it's super hard when it's cold outside to do that, but it really does make a difference to get some fresh air, to get some sunlight, especially when it comes to hormones and your emotions, because your nervous system needs sunlight. Like it is not our bodies need nature in general. We are solar powered as human beings. We definitely are solar powered. As much as we like to think that we don't need to get outside and technology is everything. We need nature. And so make sure that you're getting outside and getting your fresh air and getting sunlight. It's going to help you so much with your cortisol levels. Like, do your research about cortisol and, dopamine and, things that, affect all that stuff really it does affect your hormones. Not doing things that lower your cortisol and not raise it. If you are constantly in a state of like tense all day long, you got to do things that make you relax and breathe and like, you know, zen, like you don't need to be like in a fight or flight mode 24/7, 365. Like you are just all out of whack. You got to calm down. You need to calm down. Um, Also, a huge part of that is going to be um, I don't want to say minding your own business because it sounds harsh, but it really is that um, really make sure that you are just focused on yourself and that you remember that things that are true for other people don't have to be true for you. The state of the world, if everyone's saying that it's a hot mess, especially with the presidency right now, and everyone's all up in arms, and just because things are bad for other people, if people are saying how bad the world is, doesn't mean that your world has to be bad. You know what I mean? Like, think for yourself and remember that things that might be true for other people don't have to be true for you. Every single thing is affecting your nervous system and your hormones and your emotions. And just make sure, like I said, that you're super mindful and self aware about just being honest with yourself and knowing that, your life is yours and you can think for yourself and you don't have to follow the crowd. You don't have to follow what everyone else is doing and what everyone else is thinking. It's okay to be different. It's okay to um, create a life of peace and calm when the outside world is chaotic and madness. Like you can help and support and empathize and you know be there for other people and um, show up for them. And like I said, you can support and be empathetic, but the weight of the world does not need to be on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Just because other people are living in fear and lack, and we can do what we can to help, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you, and it's okay to be okay. It is okay to be okay. Just like we always say, it's okay to not be okay. It's also okay to be okay. I think a lot of people feel guilty for being good, like for being okay, especially in the state of the world today where it seems like there is so much suffering, there is so much um, dysregulation, there's so much fear, there's so much, you know, poverty. There's always going to be bad in the world. But it's okay, like you are actually helping the world when you are choosing to live a more peaceful life, to live a more calm life. You won't be adding to the chaos. You won't be adding to the madness. And so all of that, like I said, affects your hormones, it affects your nervous system. It's going to affect your emotions. So just do what you can every single day to woosah, to be as calm as you can, pampering, spa days, whatever makes you feel the most relaxed, whatever makes you feel feminine and girly and fun and just like I said, peaceful. Everything comes down to peace, especially when it comes to emotions and hormones and all that good stuff. Journaling is amazing. If you therapy, I'm always like super advocate for therapy if you know that you could use some professional help. Um, but I love journaling. Having creative outlets is definitely one of my forms of therapy. I love creating content. I love, doing these videos. I love doing my podcast. I love taking pictures, like things like that. Content creating is definitely my outlet. It is my therapy. So find what really, comforts you and what makes you feel comforted and what things that feel therapeutic to you, even if it's not traditional therapy. There's so many other forms of therapy in the world. Journaling is great, having creative outlets, what you're putting in your body, cooking, baking, whatever it is that you like to do, your hobbies, playing sports, working out, exercise, gym, like meditation, anything that's going to put you in a state where you're present and you're mindful and you're not worried about anything else going on. Anything that makes you forget to check your phone is something you need to do more often. Do more things every single day that make you forget to check your phone. Things that make you feel present and just happy and just in that like really good flow state where you're not worried about anything else or anyone else, like where you are good. If you guys have things that help you with your hormones, that help you with that time of month, that help you with cycle syncing, that help you with anything PMS, PCOS related, please comment those things down below. If you have any resources for the gals, please share them. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little Galentine wine time talk. Um, if you did, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, this is a little series, and so go check out the other videos in this series. Like I said, I'm gonna do around 10 videos about like girlhood, womanhood specifically for Valentine's Day. If you do have plans for Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day, please let me know down below, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.